Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you watch this channel. Malawian former president Lazarus Chakwera was appointed on Monday by Commonwealth Secretary General Shali Bochwe, who said Dr. Chakwera would undertake a 4-day mission to Tanzania from 18th to 21st November as part of the organization's Good Offices mandate. So,
as such, I have informed the Commonwealth Secretary General of my acceptance of the mission, provided that the Tanzanian government welcomes my engagement as a neighbor and friend who stands for the promotion of peace in this country and every country in our region.
Chakwera is supposed to bring some kind of political truce to find a solution to the Tanzanian problem in 3 days. Now, as at yesterday, there was news that Chakwera had not arrived. So I've not checked. I was trying to check whether he has really arrived. So at the time I was doing this video, there was no information about Chakwera's presence in Tanzania. This is the main reason why I was forced to ask myself, if at all he was appointed on Monday, and he was supposed to lead the delegation on 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st, why hadn't he arrived in Tanzania? Then the first answer that came to my mind is that maybe Lazarus Chakwera gave Samia Suluhu conditions. Maybe, if I'm to lead this delegation, then first of all, you must release Tundu Lissu. That is the main reason why I'm again taken to another question. This mediation will be between the government and who? Because according to what we know, the person who ignited this debate of electoral malpractice is in custody. The name is Tundu Lissu, the head of Chadema. He is still in custody. So Lazarus Chakwera, the former president of Malawi, will be mediating between the current president of Tanzania, Samia Suluhu's government, and which team? Because the first thing that I think Lazarus Chakwera must have done is to request the president of Tanzania to release Tundu Lissu.
Nchi haikombolewi kwa maombi. Nchi haikombolewi kwa kupiga magoti na kumwomba Mungu. Inakombolewa kwa mapambano. Mnanielewa? Mnaogopa, msilalamike.
Failure to which he is not going to participate in that mediation. Now, for those of you who've been following the politics of Tanzania, you must have come across a video we shared when Samia Suluhu was admitting publicly that there was a mistake, and the mistake has tainted the name of Tanzania. Now, if that mistake has tainted the name of Tanzania and the mistake is of the government's doing, then someone like Chakwera is the only person who can make them another name. I mean, a peaceful nation, a democratic nation, and that will be because of Chakwera's mediation. So the person who needs Chakwera the most is not even Tundu Lissu, but it is the president of Tanzania, because at the end of the day, after 5 years, she's the one who's going to be judged as a failed president or a successful president. So Chakwera is the person she needs the most. Now let's look at the scenario where Chakwera lands in Tanzania. I'm not sure that he has landed, but if he has landed, it's okay. But let's focus on a situation whereby he is in Tanzania, and he cannot mediate between the government side and the Tundu Lissu side, because Tundu Lissu is a political prisoner who is still in custody. And we remember there was a memo from the US government that political prisoners be released, but Tundu Lissu is still in custody. So that is the main reason why, most likely, if CCM plays the hard ball, CCM plays hard to get, and they refuse to release Tundu Lissu, then most likely the image that Tanzania is still going to have is a bad one, that they are not a democratic nation. So even if Chakwera comes and Tundu Lissu is not released, that is not going to work according to the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth want Tundu Lissu out. They want all the political prisoners out, and they want a political solution. They want the constitution to be looked at, the issue of the constitution to be addressed, the electoral issues to be addressed. But those are things which CCM is not ready to agree to, because if at all that issue is looked at, CCM knows very well that they are not going to win elections again. It's going to be hard for them to continue dominating Tanzania, because honestly speaking, 98% of all the votes going to one person. I mean, that is very abnormal. So first of all, let me tell you that this mediation team led by Chakwera reminds me of the Kofi Annan-led team that solved the crisis in Kenya, the 2007 crisis. That is what I'm reminded of. But then this is a situation that is now facing Tanzanians now. But there's a catch here. The political party that ignited this debate over reforms, their leader is in custody, and that is Tundu Lissu. Of course, there are other small parties which are called CCM parties. You see, there are people who have termed the small parties that participated in the election as CCM parties, because, you know, in politics, it's all about calculations. So there was no way Samia Suluhu was going to go as CCM alone in the ballot. You only have one person to tick. So there was need to create some small parties so that at least in the ballot there are options. But at the end of the day, you know that the person who's going to be voted for is just Samia Suluhu. But you give options. So that was a strategy. So the small parties did not object the electoral laws that are in the country. So the team that is much concerned about all this is Chadema. But the Chadema leader is in prison right now, facing treason charges. So how is Chakwera going to deal with the situation, whereas we know very well that Samia Suluhu has not released Tundu Lissu? And word has it that Tundu Lissu has refused to agree to certain demands from the government, and that's the main reason why he is still in custody, because he has not agreed to some of the things that the CCM government wants. Now, I'm foreseeing a situation whereby if CCM refuses to release Tundu Lissu, then most likely Chakwera's mission will not be complete, because Chadema will not participate in the reconciliation. And this will make sure that Tanzania's image to the world is still bad. Honestly speaking, according to Suluhu's statements, she admitted that the image of Tanzania right now to the world is bad. So I think this mission is supposed to clear Tanzania's name so that they can attract more investors, they can attract more loans. But if that cannot happen, if this mission cannot take place, because they will not release Tundu Lissu, then most likely Chakwera will leave without solutions for the Tanzania people. So tell us below in the comment section whether you believe this mission is going to be successful. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.